Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to episode 8 of KoreCast Talking Games. You just heard the intro song. Well, the ones that are live here just heard the intro song for the last time. For those that are watching the VOD of the podcast, or those that are listening to the podcast, you did not hear it this week. And the reason why is we are eliminating the theme song from Corecast Talking Games. Uh, with that being said, I would like to welcome my co host, Crimson Fury, to the Forecast Talking Games, episode 8. We are talking today about cheating in games.
Hello, everybody.
Um, we had. Why did I hear an echo myself? We had a. Oh, I see why. I speak loud enough, and her headset picks me up.
Uh,
Um, we had a person lined up today, but they backed out, and so today's topic is actually one that I wanted to cover anyway. So, what exactly is cheating? Is the very first question I want to answer uh, before we go further, because, to me, to be classified cheating in a game is altering the code or altering or using console commands. Honestly, is I think even though that the console commands are inside a game, I personally look at that as a form of cheating. This is one of those areas where me and Crimson disagrees on that. What's your viewpoint on what exactly is cheating, Crimson?
um, I don't view it as cheating if it is something that's built into the game. For
So
for
so
an example, to anyone who has watched any of my medieval dynasty videos, my character, or I'm using the unlimited stamina, unlimited carry weight. Some people view that as cheating, but it is options that are built into the game, so I don't view that as cheating. What I view as cheating is an aimbot that you are downloading, installing would run alongside that you have to have running outside of the game. And
mm,
in cases like that, a lot of the companies, the games, whatever platform you're playing on, whatever, if they find out that you're using an aimbot, you can get banned. So they view it as cheating.
well,
So that's just my viewpoint.
I agree that aimbots are cheating, but what's your viewpoint on using, say, console commands like uh
Like move objects on and mother load and whatnot, like in Sims.
yeah, I understand why those are there for builders. I do understand about that.
Um, like the money cheats and stuff in the Sims. As far as I'm concerned, they're built in. They're codes that are built in that have been made public information to the gaming community. Um, so it just depends on the parameter of what you are doing within the game and your own play style as far as that goes. Because like Muller, Muller's doing a
Mhm.
decades challenge. In the decades challenge, you're not allowed to use money cheats to add money to your thing, or there are defined events that occur that determine whether you add or remove money. And to just, start a family with like 100 grand or whatever, and just start them out with everything that they need, boom, 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 would be cheating for that challenge. But if somebody's not doing that challenge and they're playing for their own amusement and they use them, then no, I don't view it as cheating.
Well, when you're using it for your own personal amusement or that type of stuff, the only person you're really cheating is yourself. Um, and yeah, I agree that it isn't really, I mean, cheating with the money is an oddity in Sims 4. As yeah, I can agree that if you're doing something like a decades challenge, it can end with really weird consequences, and like you're really destroying the heart and soul of the challenge.
Right. Another challenge for The Sims is Rags to Riches, where you purchase a lot and then you use a money cheat to completely remove any other funds you have left after the purchase of that lot.
Right.
Literally, you start with just that little plot of land and nothing else.
Right, right. I mean, the
So, like,
rags
to
to
use money,
riches.
to use the money cheat and add money to your funds in that would be considered cheating for that
Right.
challenge.
Right. It would be that it is a form of a cheat.
Hmm.
I mean, if you actually look up the definition of cheating, it's the the it's the act dishonestly or unfairly in order to gain an advantage, especially in a game or examination.
Hmm.
And that is from Oxford, right there. Um, Now, some people, online cheating is so marred in my viewpoint. Like, oh, they're using lag switches, which, if you don't know what that is, that's the ability to pulse your internet, uh, as to make it look like you're standing in one spot, but actually you've moved further along. You see it mostly in Call of Duty style games or other first person shooters. That is massive cheating right there, in my viewpoint.
And I believe we've also seen that in DBD a few
Yes.
times.
Yeah.
Yes, that is cheating. Anything that is because, well, that lag,
Mhm.
what do you call it?
um Lag switch.
That basically is deceiving the other players because
Mhm.
it's making them think you're in one location when you're actually in another, or doing one thing when you're doing something else. And well, you are deceiving them. It is an act of deception, and that is
Right.
part of the definition for cheating.
Right. Lag switches is one form of cheating, but more in depth, one of the things that I had uh, when I was researching this topic, um, is modding. Modding a game. Some people will say that it is not cheating. and other people will say it's a form of cheating.
Mm, yeah.
Um,
I think there's a very fine line with that,
yeah,
personally.
I completely agree. Now, when you mod certain online games, which it is possible to alter cosmetics of it, the question becomes, is that a form of cheating? Just even basic, nothing that would affect the gameplay, nothing that affects other players, just your own screen.
Does the game have modding capabilities added into it?
What do you mean modding capabilities added into it?
Well, for instance, Minecraft, they encourage mods.
Yes, but
Um,
modding was not actually ever added into
no,
Minecraft.
but it's encouraged
Yes, they
because
support the modding
because
community.
mods don't always just increase the quality of what people refer to as quality of life in games. It can give you better or different visuals,
Mhm.
effects, maybe enhancing the game's visuals,
Right,
making
right.
it look better for yourself and others if it's on a
Right.
server. Um, but you can also use mods to increase difficulty, to add in, well, like the mod pack you're playing. There's mods in there that say, okay, well, we're going to change how this recipe works. Now you
Right.
have to do this and this. You have to you have to have this specific resource, an X amount of it, and to get that resource you have to do this. And
Mhm.
it may be making it harder. It may be adding in other mod packs.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm not sure if I'm wording this
No,
well.
no, no, you're wording it perfectly.
Um, so, mods, there are various varieties of mods out there. Like I said,
I
there's the
I will agree Minecraft does encourage mods, but
Valheim. There are
v-
mods
Val
that
Valheim, yes,
there are mods that
give you pretty much unlimited resources and unlimited carry weight, while there's other mods that make
there's
it
yeah, and now
more
okay, here's an
balanced.
example. There's a mod for there's
But
certain metals that you cannot put into a crate and take on a boat or through a
right,
portal,
right.
okay? There's certain things you cannot travel base game wise through the portal
Mhm.
with.
Mhm. Like a wheelbarrow.
But there are mods that you can add to your game that will allow you to take your
Yep.
cart or these things that normally in base game aren't allowed
Right.
to be taken through a portal. You can take
Mhm.
them through the portal. There are also mods that say, okay, and I've used this mod. There's a mod that says, okay, you can plant the different berry bushes.
Yeah.
Now, I like that mod, but
Mhm.
I found out very quickly that you have to be careful on the settings you use with that
Oh
mod
yes,
because it can
yes.
be extremely cheaty. Because on a regular bush in the game, you might get one berry from one type, you might get two to three berries from another type of berry bush.
Mhm.
In this mod, you can set it so you can have it to where every time you harvest, you get one berry.
Mhm.
Or you can have it every time you harvest that one bush, you get 100 berries.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's the difference between just using it as a quality of life an improvement to quality of life in the game and using
Right.
it as cheaty.
Right. See, but what I was referring to is, say you're playing first person or a challenge style online game,
Okay.
like say Dead by Daylight.
Okay.
And you use a mod just to alter the way the uh
Graphics.
s- some of the perks look. Is that
What do you
cheating
mean?
really?
The perks look.
Like instead of them being a purplish color, you have them set up like rainbow color.
If it's just affecting something graphics, I don't consider it cheating.
Well, here's the thing. Technically, with the way Dead by Daylight words their thing, it is cheating.
Okay, then if it is actually listed in the game, TOS type of thing, then yeah, then it would be considered cheating.
Because to do so goes around the cheat blocker.
Mm. Yeah, that would definitely be cheating then.
And yeah, it's one of those things that it does go around the cheat blocker. And because one of the things the cheat blocker does is look at your base game to make sure you haven't altered the code. Um and it's we actually played against a person who modded Dead by Daylight so that their graphics was completely different thing. So it was
Then that
just
was
complete.
cheating.
Yeah. And yeah, it's like, well, would I be upset that a person just altered the graphics for their own personal look? No, I don't care. If you're not doing anything else besides that, I see nothing against that. Yeah, Dove remembers that because she was part of our group that day. Um, but I mean, if you're just doing it for basic graphics in a game like that, I have no problem to do that. But it is quite
It,
clear in their rules
yeah,
that it
if it's
is.
in their rules for the game, then it is cheating and you should not be doing it.
Yeah.
But
Um.
in games like Valheim and Foundation and The Sims, in games that encourage modding and welcome modding, to use mods now to an extent. I mean, there's always going to be somebody who makes a mod that makes things just way too easy. And let's be frank here. The Sims 4, it's not hard to
Hmm.
make money. It's
No,
hard to
no.
spend money. I mean, because I've had many, many times where you end up with this massive amount of money, and it's like, okay, what the heck am I spending all this on? Um, and not using money cheats. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it was a rags to riches thing, and so once you get so far in it, you've just made so much dang money, you don't know what to do with it. Um, but Sims isn't about realism. I mean, obviously, if you've ever done, um, you know, pl- I mean, you can go from being a nobody to like a mega superstar in just no time at all. No time at all. And you meet a person and the couple falls madly in love and gets married within an hour of gameplay.
Right,
I-
right.
It's not
But you can
it's not
actually
on
make
realism.
You can
So,
make people fall in love with you really quickly in The Sims 4 without any cheats or that type of stuff if you just know how
exactly.
to do it.
And I use mods when I play The Sims. When I play The Sims, I use mods. I've used mods for Valheim. I've used mods for Minecraft. Um, Trying to think what else I've used mods for. Mini games,
Yeah, I know.
but usually they are things that are quality of life.
Right.
Um, Affect graphics, not or add more challenge, not to take away the challenge. Because that's why I'm playing the game most of the time is to have the challenge.
Right. See, I feel like once you get to where a mod is taking away a challenge, it becomes a cheat. It, and like
Well, even if it's not a cheat, it just
it,
takes the fun
it,
of
it
playing the game out of the game.
I still think of it as a cheat because yes, it does take the fun out of the game. But desperately, people think that, oh, I'm taking this out of the game because I'm not enjoying X, Y, or Z, and I'll add it to this other Spice of Life mod I have, and boom, I'm a happy camper with that. And while yes, you may not like an aspect of the game, it's needed. Um, Now using unlimited carry weight in what game is that you're playing with
Medieval
that?
Dynasty.
Yeah, Medieval Dynasty. I look at that as not really cheating. I look at it as, practice until you're ready to go for a harder challenge.
Well, and I also have no problem using the unlimited stamina and the unlimited carry weight
Mhm.
now because I have played the game so much the way the base game originally was, which didn't give you
Mhm.
those options at the time. So I had the carry weight, I had the limited stamina. Um, Now that it is part of the game and it's offered, especially if you're doing videos on stuff, it makes it better viewing in most cases for your viewers. Most of your viewers don't want to watch you make umpteen trips when you're chopping trees down and stuff and stockpiling wood that you need and planks that you need and stuff like that to build buildings, whether it be houses or other buildings in the building
Yeah.
in the game. They don't want to watch you make umpteen trips. Okay, going chopping down X amount of trees and then making trips back and forth, back and forth, back and forth to carry the wood or to go and make planks and then have to make trips back and forth, taking those, transporting those because you got a weight limit cap.
Right, right,
Um,
right.
so
Yeah, I
that
mean,
another game I've used mods in a lot, Banished. Why? Banished is a great city builder, medieval era style city builder game. But after playing it and playing it and playing it, it was getting way too easy. So I
but
added
okay,
ones
okay.
in that were quality of life ones and added ones in that added more resources and more production trees and stuff like that to
That
add more
sounds like
challenge.
Spice of Life mods. I don't see that as cheating.
Well, it
Or
wasn't it added more challenge to the game.
right,
It gave more to
right.
do.
It's a Spice of Life. And I will say Spice of Life in a single player game, that mod is perfectly okay. Now,
Mhm.
and I will say using some console commands can border cheating. like in Minecraft or in Sims 4 or other Sims. Like in Minecraft, slash give player name uh Minecraft colon diamond sword. Can be classified as a cheat, or it can be like if you're a server mod, that's not a cheat. That's you're returning a person's item because they lost it due to a bug on the server.
Right. Again, that comes into the fine line between cheating and not cheating.
Right. See, it's a where is that line exactly at? Like,
But in that case as well, if it's a mod who is basically creating this thing out of thin air and giving it to this player or putting it in their inventory, and it was lost due to a bug, a server bug or a game bug, they're doing their
I
job.
yeah, I say that's doing their job, and it's not doing it because of
It's
cheating.
not as if they were saying, "Oh, this person here, this is my buddy, and they're not able to get on the game very much, but I want to make sure that they have the best advantages.
Right,
So I'm
right,
going to make them an entire set of the best armor and the best weapons and put it in a chest in their house for them."
right,
That's cheating.
right. I it's always been a what is cheating, what is not cheating. And
Now, on the other hand, if it is just you and that person playing,
right,
it wouldn't be cheating, because the only person that it is affecting them having the good stuff is you, and you are the one that
exactly,
gave it to them.
exactly.
If you're playing with uh, other people and you're singling out one or two or a handful of people that you are going to give bonus gear to, but not everybody, that makes it cheaty.
Well, okay, that brings me up to a question I have here. Say a server offers perks. You pay us X amount, we'll give you X item. Is that cheating?
Is this announced to you when you join it or prior to you joining?
You can find that information, say, on their website.
Then no, because you are aware of it and you still decided to play the game, so you agreed to that.
So it's not cheating. Okay, okay. Well, see that.
That's no different than like our son pre-ordering Dying Light 2 and getting those perk things that people got
Mm-hmm.
for the
Mm-hmm.
the pre-order.
Right.
It
And
was
then
made public knowledge that you could get these if you pre-order the game.
right,
So therefore, it's not a cheat.
right, right. I it was just it's one of those.
Now, to give bonus items to people and not say, "Hey, if you do this, you get these bonus items."
Right.
Okay, you're not being transparent with.
Not transparent, but it's really not it's still not cheating in a way.
Well, no, but you're kind of screwing yourself too, because whether you are a game developer or publisher, or whether you are an individual who pays for a server and has, say, modded Minecraft on the server, but you are saying, okay, if you sub to my channel, a tier 3 sub, as long as you are a tier 3 sub, you will have this gear. It's given to you
Right.
for as long as you are a tier 3 sub. And
Right.
then you say if you sub as a tier 3 sub once, you get this item.
Right.
Okay, so and then they have different things for like tier 2 subs or tier 1 subs, or it's a special, hey, you pre-order, you get this, or if you purchase this, okay, the gold or platinum package that a lot of the or collector package or whatever they want to call it that a lot of these game companies come out with. You can get the standard, you can get the deluxe, you can get the mega deluxe, whatever, and
See,
you get bonus stuff based upon how much money you're spending
see, I look at that as like unsportsmanship style playing. Uh,
to
to get items like that, via a pay to win type viewpoint.
I don't view that as cheating to win, not in those scenarios. Now, when we played Edge World and you could make a building up to level 10, but if you were whatever they called their like VIP, the people that paid monthly
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
bought, and was spending like $20 or more a month on the game
Mhm.
for them to be able to increase the levels of their building by another
Mhm.
10 levels or whatever, and people being able to spend real world money to purchase caches of resources that were required to build to do those upgrades versus having to go and fight and, you know, take risks of
See,
personal losses
I
and stuff like that
still
in order to earn those resources. That is more on the cheaty side for a company to do
right,
because they're condemning the people who aren't
but
able or aren't willing to spend their real money on the game.
like I said, that I say is sort of a pay to win in my viewpoint.
Yes, that I view as I
Where
don't view like saying, "Okay, this is the standard edition, this is this edition, this is this edition." I
no,
don't
no,
I don't say that's cheating.
that's not
That's
cheating.
marketing.
Right, that's not cheating,
I don't say I wouldn't.
but say you have a game out and then later on say, well, if you pay us $5, we will give you this sort of unbreaking death dealer that will give you the best advantage in PvP. And then people start buying that sword because, oh, the only way to get it is to pay for it without
It
having a chance of getting it inside the game is a form of cheating in my viewpoint.
it depends on the style of game.
No, it doesn't matter the style of game. Pay to win, in my viewpoint, is a form of cheating.
I mean, I think that again that one this one particularly is a very thin line. I think that if a game is going to do that, they should make sure there is something comparable to that item that the person can earn through
I would agree to that,
investing
but
time and hard work in the game.
I would agree to that. That would be an ideal thing, but there is so many places that don't do that. Now,
No, because they're greedy.
there is another form of online cheating that I want to discuss, and that is called power leveling. Also known as what was it called in WoW? Oh, twinking, I think is the correct term. Where you take, say, you're a level 50 adventurer and you take a level 1 character out and just like go, well, we're going to go into this level 50 area and I'm just going to kill everything that I can by myself. You stand back and just absorb all the XP. Is that cheating?
Mm.
that was Twinking, or was Twinking giving them very good armor?
You mean like we used to do a Neverwinter in the guild when we would help new guild members or help existing guild members level one of their tunes up?
Yeah.
And one of my jobs was to take low level guild members or their low
Mm-hmm.
level tunes, running
Mm-hmm.
them around to the different places in the guild area, killing
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And most of the time I did the killing and they didn't do as much because they would have got killed. It
Right.
is kind of cheaty, yes, but it's done.
See, while could agree that it is a form of cheating, I also do not look at it as cheating. Um, and the reason behind it is, does it give that person an unfair advantage? No. Uh, all it does is ruin the game, the base game. S-
It strips the person. All right, to go back to the Neverwinter example, there is a level cap for your character.
mm-hmm.
With my first character, I didn't have anybody run me around and
Right.
do the stuff.
Right.
I
You got up there
I
by yourself.
ground those levels out by
Yeah.
myself, and I have screenshots of when I turned in the thing that put me over that XP needed to hit level 50.
Right.
I've got
Right. Right.
screenshots of that because that was a victory for me for that game. And
See,
you'd have, if you are a true gamer, that gives you pride and satisfaction and a feeling of accomplishment. And if you have somebody run you around and grind the stuff and you're just basically standing there with your thumb up your booty and you're doing nothing but collecting the XP,
see
that's
that
stripping that away from you. And you know what? Is it cheaty? It can be considered cheaty by people. But again, I think it's more, is that something you're willing to give up?
you're just cheating yourself,
Exactly.
honestly.
You're
And
cheating yourself.
if you already have multiple level 50 characters, whatever
With
the
my
top
second and
was,
third characters that I rarely played, you are darn tootin' I let somebody run me around and help me
um,
level them things up. I didn't. They're still not max level, because we
see,
stopped playing before that. But
see that right there, the sharing armor or giving armor to a lower level, that is pretty much god tier armor for them. I don't consider cheating. I mean, it's one of those borderline subjects where it's like, do what you want. You're just destroying the game for yourself. Now, if you're paying people money to do it,
or
I say that's
here's
cheating.
another cheat. Here's a cheat that I don't agree with. Say I were to take that level 50 tune that I have on Neverwinter Online that I
Hmm.
no longer log into and play anymore. This to me is a cheat. I don't agree with doing this. I don't care what game it is. I don't care. For me to say, hey, I have a Neverwinter Online account that I'm willing to sell for X amount of dollars that has, it is a fully decked out max level. I am selling this, and this because you're basically selling the account to somebody and you paid $60 for me to get that one mount that I've got and some of the gear that came with it as a bonus, because
Right.
it was one of the packs.
I remember.
Uh, Now if I were to say, "Hey, how much would you give me for my account?" and sell a person the account, that's cheating.
Yeah, I can see how that is a cheat. Now, okay, say people are playing free for alls, okay? First person shooter free for alls.
Like um, Call of Duty,
Call of
Halo.
Duty, Halo, Fortnite style game,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like a last man standing.
Overwatch.
Yeah, Overwatch. But say you looked at another, say like me and you will be playing it, and we say, okay, I'm not going to attack you until the last, well, I'll protect your back type deal, until we're just the last two in a
And then
last
it's
man
we have X
standing.
amount of time to get away from each other and
Yeah,
work on your own strategy kind of thing.
is that a form of cheating?
I don't view that as cheating.
Because I mean, think
I view
about
that
it.
as smart
That's
gameplay.
but here's the thing. Nobody else knew that we were going in there like that. That you and I were going to work together to get to the end. So pretty much for almost everybody else, it became a 2-on-1 type situation there. So you don't think that would be a form of cheating?
Dear, we've done that kind of thing. Is it cheating?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you also
Look
knew
how many
almost
times you and
everybody
I have
else was
tag
doing
teamed.
it.
Look how many times we have played free for all on COD with our son, and we team up and work together to keep taking him out, and then it's free for all between the two of us.
Well, that's because he normally is too good for us to take by ourselves. So, okay, macros. Could macros be considered cheating?
It depends on the game.
Depends also what the macros are, right?
Yeah, it depends what you're doing.
S-
Depends on the game, and depends if you are playing the game solo or with others. There's a lot of things
mhm.
to take into consideration for that.
Okay. All right.
When I played Minecraft, or not Minecraft, when I was doing Worm Online, or not online, Worm Unlimited, going into the caves, click, 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 click. Remember, my wrist was really starting to bother me from clicking when
Right,
I was
right,
mining,
right.
so I set it up to where all I had to do was press the M button,
Yep,
and
yep.
it would time out the swings like it was
y-
supposed to, and then I just had to hit it again when it was done.
Right,
To me,
right.
that was a quality of life thing for
Well,
me.
but but you didn't also change it so that you were swinging at an ungodly speed.
No,
Um,
no,
there
I
is
didn't
some
adjust the
people
speed.
who do scripting that do make that alteration where it's a lot faster. And like I said, you were pretty much playing on your own server or your own
Yeah, I was
single
playing
player
solo.
game. So the only person it really would have hurt was yourself.
And it wasn't giving me any. The only added bonus that I got from that is that it wasn't my wrist wasn't killing me.
Right. See, so
That was it. It wasn't that I wasn't getting any more resources than I normally would. I wasn't guaranteed resources, and it wasn't a faster process
right. Right.
than if I'd have done it click, 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 click,
Right. Right. Right.
the entire time. Um,
Um
Now,
mhm.
if I had it set up to where it guaranteed resources and a larger multiplier on those resources, and I was playing with other people, and and it took that section of
Right.
the mine out faster, and it was only something that only was being used by me and not everybody on a server or everybody on the game, yeah, that would be cheating.
Yeah, I mean, on a server, I completely agree. See, so majority of what we're saying is if you're doing something to your own game, while it may be cheaty, like using a cheat engine to alter a game that you're playing offline's code, so like you have unlimited gold. Um, in said game. The only person that you're really hurting when you're doing that type of stuff is yourself.
Mhm.
But the major cheating that we have is when it comes to an online game.
Yes.
Yeah. And what do you think is the ideal ramification for cheating on an
Myself,
online game?
I refuse to play with people who show a lack of honor and integrity. If they're gonna cheat, I'm not playing.
Well, what do you
But
think that a
I
person
think if they get caught cheating and there's proof that they were cheating, they shouldn't be able to play the game in the
well,
online community.
I agree that it should cause a person to be banned.
Now,
I could,
my issue with this is for a while, remember TJ and I were both playing RuneScape for a while.
right, right, and you were
And
classified as using
we both
macros.
literally this literally happened within a day of us paying buying that monthly package thing.
Mm-hmm.
The very next day, we both go to log in, and neither of us are able to log in because they said we were cheating. We were
Yeah,
using macros because there's no way somebody could level that fast. My question back to them, which I never did get a response. My question back to them was, "Don't you have a way to see how many hours I spent on the game?"
right. They should be able to see
Because I
that,
was
but
on that game. We were on that game for hours that day. We were power leveling.
right, right.
We were running
You were
around doing as much as we could do to level skills,
yeah,
doing as much as we could do to level our characters, and doing quests like mad
yep,
to get better gear and stuff.
yep. But
And it was literally, "Oh, well, you're using macros. Your account's been banned."
yeah. See that
And we
is
both messaged back. Neither of us got a response. It was
right,
basically a "Thank you for your money, now off" kinda thing.
right, right,
And
right.
to me, that's not right. You should, if you are gonna ban people and accuse them of cheating, you darn well better be able to say, "Here is the proof we have that you were cheating."
Right, exactly. Exactly. So I am going to right now. I say that we covered this topic in as good of a point that we can get to right now. Um, I'm gonna ask the audience here on Twitch if they have any questions or comments about this type of stuff. I'm gonna go back and read some of the previous comments here made, like from Yuki, manipulating your own level of al- although the skills are so good, it takes away from others the desire to play the game again. Right. Their own experience when a game takes over the desire to play again when he was a complete scammer, used all the stuff he shouldn't have on the level he had. Yes. Uh, like using that is a form of twinking. What I see there, Yuki. I would agree. Uh, in your own opinion, Dove, you're using the game to your own personal benefit. If someone is modifying their perks to improve their game, as for Sims, I think it's a bit more lenient, and they actually share it to help you in general. I could I can agree with that. We did agree to that one there dancing.
Mm,
Um
I have further comment on that one though.
oh yeah, okay, go.
The problem with The Sims is there are a lot of mods that have been made that
Mhm.
create pretty close to game that they basically the mod was made to basically fix nearly game breaking issues.
Yeah.
There literally are modders out there that okay, there's this bug happening in the game.
Right.
Or like for example, they just dropped a wedding pack recently that was
Right.
full of bugs. Thank you, EA.
Right.
I got no issue with Maxi because I know the devs, I know that they work hard, and this is not against them at all. They take orders from higher up.
Right.
But this game pack never should have been released. It was that full of bugs. And there are
Right.
modders in the community, the Sims community, that literally took the time and sat down, looked through the code, found the issues, and made mods and released them to the community to fix the issues. And that's happened pretty much since day one with The Sims 4.
Right. Right. Yuki, Overwatch sees a lot of cheating. Yes, and it has since
Hmm.
the beginning. It's because even though you don't get better weapons and that type of stuff in Overwatch in the packages, but you do get cosmetics and that type of stuff, people want all the cosmetics.
And I do want to say that if you are a person who uses literal cheats, aim bots,
Mhm.
or the lag whatever bot kind of
Flag
things
switches,
in games like Call of Duty,
Overwatch.
Overwatch, Halo, and that kind of thing. And then you want to sit there and brag about how good you are and how good your stats are. Just know
Right.
this, to the people who know that you're using cheats or can tell you're using cheats, you are nothing more than a laughing stock.
Right, right.
Don't be like that.
Same goes for Fortnite.
Don't don't
Yes.
don't be like that. Don't be one of the, and I've also played games, online games where you spend a lot of time and you do a repetitive action. One game I played the game for 5 years with the same character.
Mhm.
Every day I logged in.
Mhm.
Every day I logged in and I did trains using because you got 10 trains every day, 10 training points every
Yes,
day.
yes.
And I would spend those. You had to decide if you were using those on strength, stamina, and I think there was a third option.
Yes,
Um,
dexterity.
and you would have to decide what you were using those on.
Yep.
Okay. And every day at the top of the hour, I would go through a list of people in my level range, which it after
Yeah.
a little while of playing was literally whatever your level was, you could attack anybody 10
Plus or
levels
minus
lower
10.
or 10 higher. And I would go through everybody. And I had people who for longest time, I had people who would send me a messages in game because you could attack a person, but you couldn't attack them back to back. So I literally had a list that I made that I had it opened so I could look at it to see what order I attacked the people in my range in, because you could
Mhm.
attack them, but you had to attack somebody else, or you had to attack 2 other people before you could attack that player again.
Mhm.
And you only have so many players in your range to attack at the top of every hour. So
Right.
top of the hour, Malcor knows list was open prior to, had my battle playlist ready to go, and I'd start jamming to my music and just start going through the list. Boom, 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 boom. And I would get messages from some of these players that I had to hit like 5 or 6 times every hour. And I'd get why do you keep attacking me? You you you're not killing me. Because I will eventually. You are a gauge for how for my character's improvement in the game. I
Right,
don't
right.
understand. About a month and a half, 2 months later, I get a message back from this one of these same people who said they didn't understand, who was like, "Oh my god, you're killing me with 1 attack now.
Yep.
I get it
Yep.
now." Yep, now you get it. And
Yeah,
I
I
spent
remember that game.
5 years.
I remember that game.
God dang it. I am still heartbroken that that game no longer exists. I am more heartbroken that the game no longer exists than that my power supply went out and I had to wait. And it took me 31 days to get the power supply and you to get it in my computer. And my account was deleted because it was inactive for 30 days. Uh, Literally, the game owner and developer, when he seen me log back in, make a new character and stuff, he was like, "What happened?" And I told him, and he was like, "Oh." And he literally changed it in the game coding to where there was no more auto deletion of a character for inactivity for 30 days.
Yeah, I think he bumped it out to 90
No,
day. Oh.
he done away with the auto deletion.
Oh, okay.
Um, he says, "I wish I could give you back, roll it back to where your character had everything it had prior to that, but I don't have any records of that. It gets deleted after the character gets deleted." He
Yeah.
says, "I wish I could undo that for you." And my response back was, "No worries. I wish you could too, but I get it. It's not your fault. It was just, something that happens." Um, Literally had to restart my guild, restart my character off from ground one. But there was a character on that game who started playing the game maybe a year before I lost my original character, who when I returned, okay, there was a thing in the game called new player protection. So for the first 2 weeks,
10 days.
yeah, oh yeah, it was 10. For the first 10 days from the first 10 days after you made your account, you could not get attacked by anybody over a certain level. And then after that, it went to the full, or no, you couldn't be attacked by anybody with a power over a certain, their HP, their power, and that kind of stuff couldn't be over a certain level, and that kind of thing for the first 10 days. After that, you were fodder for these people that we referred to as low level killers. These are people who had spent every day hours on this game like I had, who camped at level 10. They did not level their characters above level 10. They had the absolute best weapons, the absolute best gear they could have for their level 10 character, because there was a cap for equipment and stuff, but they had the absolute best custom armor and custom weapons for a level 10 character.
Yep.
They had outrageously high health points, outrageously high stamina, outrageously high dexterity,
Yep.
and all their stats were outrageously high. There was people who were level 10, low level killers who had stats higher than the character I had that was deleted at that I'd played for 5 years. Why?
Yep.
Because they spent money every month buying bonus packs.
Yep.
A lot of
But
money every month buying bonus packs and stuff, plus the time. And then they sat there and they'd camp at level 10. So as soon as a person came out of that 10-day new player protection, every hour on the hour, every hour they're dead, dead, dead. It was to the point to where people would start to play the game and go inactive, and that character would
okay.
sit there because they lost the will and desire to play the game because the low-level campers were taking the fun out of the game, and to me, that is a cheat.
Yes, I think
It is
that
not an honorable way to play,
I think a game like that should
and
have had a skill cap based upon level.
this guy had I know he had over 30,000 HP.
Um,
He had an outrageously high win-loss level. Well, gee, I wonder why. And he always conveniently on the one weekend a month when it was basically free for all, the levels didn't matter. And those players about like that had been like me that could take him out, he would go in the inn for X amount of days, pay to be in the inn, which meant you couldn't be attacked, and claim
right, right,
that he had plans that weekend or had to work or whatever, so he wouldn't be on the game
right, which is
because he didn't
hilarious.
want us tearing up his win-loss record
Yeah, yeah, it
that he
was.
loved to brag about.
Yeah, his awesome win loss record. I remember that.
And this little coward, mind you, this guy was in his like 20s or 30s. This coward, and I call him a coward, Prophet. I call Prophet a coward because he was one of them people
Any
that bragged about a win-loss record when it was primarily built upon
new players.
inexperienced new players to the game.
Right, right.
1, 2, he would
Um,
threaten low-level inexperienced gamers. He would threaten that every hour on the hour, your character will be dead. I will keep them dead every hour. You will not get any gameplay in unless you join my guild.
yep.
And I know for a fact he did that because I had a new player to the game that had been it would was in my guild who sent me who screenshot took a screenshot and sent me a screenshot of the mail he got, which I
Any
forwarded to the owner.
anyway, yeah, that is a form of cheating. I will agree with that.
Cheating and
Uh,
intimidation.
yeah, you know the feeling of camping right at the door. You couldn't get out, know how to protect yourself. Uh, there was a game called Ultima Online back when the internet was young. I'm sure you can look it up. On Ultima Online, uh, there were people that would sit right at the entrance of New Player City. I can't remember what it was called, but it was pretty much the only city new players could spawn at. Would stand right outside of the gates, and as soon as a person walked through those gates, they would attack them and kill them.
See, that's also very dishonorable, very no honor, no integrity. What's the point of playing?
They got the nickname because all of them had the pretty much the same name as each other. They were all cool dude. So they were all the cool dudes. The
Mm.
cool dudes owned the city. Well, it became after a while that a lot of the older players that could go back there would occasionally just clear the entrances to let new players come in and out. Cool dudes were too high of a level to actually enter into that city, so but they could stand right outside and kill the players. Yeah, cool dudes.
Yeah, that's real cool, dudes.
while not classified cheating because the developers was like, well, it's in the rules that they can do that if they want. It
And see,
is
if I were a game developer or a game owner, I wouldn't want that happening because you're driving away your player base.
it did end up being what killed Ultima Online was the cool dudes.
Yep, and what killed Crimson Moon after over 10 years of being online was
Yeah.
those low level killers, those
Yep.
low level campers. Um,
Um
because it just
so
literally became
while
a
camping
game with just inactive characters.
while camping is very much a dick thing to do. It is not cheating. I wish it was. The way that companies could get around that, however, is allow skill caps that would prevent somebody that was insanely high level to be a low level character.
Exactly. Another way to prevent it, give them something to do with their time that would better benefit their character so they don't want to spend the time standing outside of a walled city or a protected city waiting for people to come out to try and improve their character
Right.
just to get slaughtered.
Right.
Give
I
them
mean,
something to do that distracts them from the easy small gains that would give
right.
them better and bigger gains for their
Right.
character.
Absolutely. Let's see here. You know the feeling camping right at the door, couldn't get out,
Or perhaps another
protect
thing that
yourself.
a
Yep.
game like Ultima could have done is said, okay, you stop receiving experience for killing
You
players
never
that are X
received
amount of, well,
you
or
never received
whatever,
XP for
whatever you got, whether it be loot,
nope, didn't
coin,
get that.
whatever.
Didn't get coin, didn't get loot, didn't get XP
Then what was
for
the op?
PvP
Then what was the reasoning behind killing people? Then
to
what was the perk?
prevent them to send them back.
Okay, so it should be then if there's no benefit to be gained, then they should take losses after X amount of kills in such in 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 a 24-hour period. Start deducting from their character. If they say, okay, you're killing players that are this far below you stat wise, after X amount in a 24-hour period, now you're starting to take losses to your character.
I would completely agree with that, but what they would have probably have done was make more cool dudes.
I mean, there's things that
Right there.
game
I can
owners,
see yes.
publishers, developers, whatever,
Can
that
do
do
to
these games
fix that.
need to say, okay, this is
But
what's happening. We need to
again,
find a creative way to deter this behavior
mhm,
because
mhm,
it's making new players, it's driving away the new players,
right,
or it's
right,
preventing people from purchasing our game or spending extra money on our game because the
right,
behavior that they're having. And if it keeps being bad behavior and it's the same person or persons over and
mhm.
over, they might need to say, okay, here's the thing. We're going to do a temp ban on you. This is why. If you when you return
Um,
to the game, if and when you return to the game, if this behavior continues, then we're just going to simply ban you from the game because
that's
you are
what
ruining the
made
gaming experience for others.
that's why there was so many cool dudes. It was believed
Well,
that it was just a small group of people that kept making new accounts.
or one person who kept making multiple accounts. And then that in that case, then you're monitoring IPs and accounts.
Yeah, but back in the early days of the internet,
Yeah,
it
there
was
was
so
no, they didn't know about doing stuff like that yet.
um but I think this is a good wrapping up spot for this topic. Thank you, dear, for helping me out with this week.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Pleasure.
for everybody that showed up today, thank you guys. You are all awesome. For those that are watching this VOD uh, on YouTube, click that subscribe, click that like if you've made it all this way. If you did not like it, leave a comment down below. Let me know what we can do to change your opinion with the next episode. For those that are listening on your favorite podcast platforms, let people know about this podcast. It will help out this podcast. Uh, on iTunes, give it a 5-star rating. So I want to thank everybody that showed up on Twitch today for this. For everybody that watched the VOD, thank you for watching the VOD. For those that listen to this, thank you. Have a great rest of your day. And until next week, later,
Later,
Gators.
Gators.